Okay, so tonight's music selection is Miss Ella Fitzgerald, Blue Skies. I love the song, and it was so beautiful here today in LA, so I thought it was rather appropriate for this evening's Wind Down Wednesday, guys. All right, so let's see who's coming on in the wine room right now. Hey, we've got organic_mogul. My mother has joined us. Hi, Mommy. Please follow my mom at her Instagram handle at imani.richardson.792. Show her a little love for me, guys. Let's see who else we have here. Hey, Nate the Dan, 7332. Welcome to the wine room. Let's see, we've got BJ Kift_1 is also in the wine room. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to my makeup artist, of course, Mr. Alex. He always hooks me up. You can find him at MUAAlex2X. That's his Instagram handle. So thank you once again. And of course, my hairstylist, Miss Lonnie B, the stylist. You all go follow her as well. Thank you, guys. All right, let's see who else we have coming on in here this evening. Hi, everybody. Can you believe it's Wednesday? Again, I know that I say that every week, but I swear it just comes so quick. I hope you all had a really good day. Let's see who else do we have coming in the wine room. I have Bryas, which is BRIYAS_world has joined us. Hi. Okay, so we have a real treat tonight. My lady of the week this week is an interior designer, not to be confused with an interior decorator. Those are two different things, and I'm sure she will explain the difference when she comes on into the wine room. Let's see who else we have. I have the T Hawkins 8 has joined us. Hello. Hi, T Hawkins 8. Thank you for joining us this evening. This evening's Wind Down Wednesday is all about interior design. This phenomenal woman that will be joining us in the wine room, she has done some amazing work. If you guys have a minute, you can go over to her website at trinteriors.net. That's T as in Tracy, R as in Rhoads, interiors.net. And check out some of her work, guys. Let me turn this down a little. All right, I'm just waiting for her to push her button so she can come on into the wine room. Let's see who else we have. We have Jimmy Stanton 4 has joined us. A lot of guys here tonight. Hello, fellas. Welcome to the wine room. Let's see who else we have here. Organic. Hi, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us. Hi, this is VJ Rathod, your friend of George from Tanzania, and you're from Vancouver. Well, welcome. Okay, we got some international folks joining us this evening. This is exciting. Let me see if I can find my lady of the week, Miss Tracy Rhodes. Give me 1 second, and I'm going to see if I can get Miss Tracy into the wine room with us. Let's see. I'm going to send the request. Oh, you're welcome, VJ. Thank you for joining us this evening. All right, we're just waiting for Miss Tracy to make her. Oh, there you are. Hello, beautiful.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Tracy. How are you? How are you this evening?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm wonderful, wonderful.
Good.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. I was looking forward to it.
So before I get started, I always like to raise our glasses.
Yes.
So we can have a little toast. Clink, clink, clink,
Cheers.
clink. Cheers.
Oh, that tastes good.
Yes, it does. So before we get started, why don't you tell everybody who you are and where you're from?
Sure. I am Tracy Rhodes, and I was actually born in Chicago, Illinois, but my parents moved to Atlanta, Georgia when I was 5 years old, and I've been here ever since. I haven't left. Went away to school and came back, but have settled here and have started my business here pretty much for the last several years.
Wow, wonderful. Okay, so I always like to do a little what I call a popping of the collar. That's giving you
Oh.
your flowers. So I want to read a little bit of your bio so that the people that are joining us, they can understand exactly who you are and who we have in the wine room this evening. So
Perfect.
I have here that you are an award-winning interior designer. You had one of the country's most successful and versatile full-service design firms. You were featured in Modern Luxury Interiors Best of Design for 2019 as the queen of glam for interior design. And this magazine has over 16 million subscribers. So I just want to give you a round of applause, a virtual
Thank
round of
you.
applause.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So Tracy, how did you get into interior design?
Well, I feel like I'm very lucky that I always knew what I wanted to do growing up. I always had a very creative, artistic background. I took a lot of art classes. Um, and then what really drove me into that particular field is I have an aunt that is also an interior designer. And growing up, I just looked up to her and admired her so much. And every single holiday, whether it was my birthday or Christmas, she would send me a design book
Okay.
and write a message in the cover of it. And I would just soak that in and read it cover to cover every time I got it. And just became more interested and more interested in it. And then finally in high school, I would say to everyone, I'm going to be an interior designer. And I don't even know that I really knew what that was.
Right.
But went into college and pursued it from there and took all the design classes and got my interior design degree. But I still have all those books from my aunt that are in my design library that I just cherish because she's the one that really started that fire within me of what I wanted to do. So I'm still pretty close with her today, and I think she might be joining us this evening. So,
Okay. And that's awesome that you said it was your aunt who inspired you, because I always say representation matters. You know, when we see it, we believe it, we can achieve it. So I think that's so sweet that you had an aunt that planted that seed in you, and you just took off from there. Okay, so real quick, Tracy, can you tell us the difference between an interior decorator versus an interior designer?
yes, and I love this question. I'm so glad that you asked me. Um, an interior designer is someone that is trained to read floor plans, work very closely with the architect, draw floor plans, scale things. I review lighting plans, do lighting design. All of those, everything that an architect does on the outside, I do on the inside.
Oh.
So, eventually it turns into the decorator part, but interior decorators usually solely do the furniture, fabrics, color palette. But designers really separates you apart from that because you do a lot of the architectural stuff as well.
Okay.
So, and you go to school to learn all of that, and so when someone calls you a decorator, you get a little twitch every once in a while, but
Right, right, right.
I'm like, no, wait.
Right, right. That's too funny. Okay, so your work, you do residential, you do country clubs, golf resorts. Is there one rule of thumb when you're designing that you stick to?
Um, One thing that I really pride myself on is that it's all about my client. And I feel like that the projects that I do in my portfolio reflects that I don't have one particular style that I try to force onto people.
Mhm.
I really try to get to know my client and what is their vision, what do they really want, and then help them to achieve that and guide them in that process. I don't ever want to just push my beliefs and my tastes onto someone that doesn't fit their lifestyle, because it's all about the client. And so I don't really have a rule of thumb, which makes my job a lot more fun because
Mm-hmm.
every job and every client I meet is new and fresh and different. And it's never the same process. It's never the same personality. Most people have very different tastes and styles. So that's the exciting part about it, really, is there is no real rule of thumb for me.
Nice. Okay, so before I knew who you were, I actually knew your work before you. And so you designed the Golf Club of Georgia, right?
I did, yes.
And so what I remember about that is that my son's father is a member there.
Mm-hmm.
And he called me on the phone, and I remember after they did the renovations, he's like going on and, oh my God, they did such a great job, yada, yada. Like he's going on and on. I didn't know who you were. And then we have a mutual friend in common, Tramika Bettis, and you designed her home. And I remember when she walked us through the unveiling of her house, Tracy, I was like, oh my God. I mean, like I've seen some beautiful work, but your work is like out of this world, Tracy.
Thank you so much.
It's so beautiful. And I always say, you know, the love is in the details.
Yes.
And that's what I see with your work, and particularly your use of lighting.
Yes.
So there was one fixture. It is an ice cube pennant that is handcrafted in steel, paper mache, and hand blown glass. And I'm like, where does this come from? Where do you come up with these ideas? Like, where does it start?
Well, first of all, I do believe that you need to get yourself out there and be sure that you attend a lot of designer events, markets, such as at the Design Center, they have Design Week. You have to be out there and be seeing what's new, what's the latest, what's the piece that you're going to find that's really going to make that job. And it's funny, you're not the first person to say that lighting really is my forte. I feel like that is just the icing on the cake. I mean, you could have any kind of decor going on, and then you hang that spectacular fixture, and I feel like that's what blows you away when you come into a room. And lighting is a real passion of mine, and I do find that I usually find that piece first, and a lot of other things follow. But that's what gives the job its individuality, I feel, as well, is the light fixtures and the artwork. That really brings out the personality of the project.
Okay, Tracy, but how do you find a fossilized clam dining table? Like, I'm like, where does one go to find that? Like, seriously. So I keep going to the shows and all that, but really, Tracy?
It's just being, I'm fortunate enough to, a lot of the reps come and show me new products, but I'm always getting out there. And the Design Center has so many amazing things. We're really lucky to have that right here in Atlanta. And
you're talking about ADAC, right?
ADAC, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and so that's just an awesome place to go and see. Everybody there is so helpful, and I've been here for such a long time. I've got longevity of relationships with people. But you go on the showrooms, and sometimes I'll bring the client, and I get so excited. I'm like a little kid. I'm like, oh my God, look at that! You have to have that. And I do. I get very excited about it.
I can tell now. You're talking about it.
Yeah, I do. I truly love what I do. It's such a passion, and so that spills over into staying up long and late nights trying to find the right pieces and seek those out for my clients.
So which project do you prefer? Do you prefer a new construction or a renovation?
I really have to say it's probably 50-50, because part of the beauty of a renovation is you see the before pictures of what it is, and it's such a challenge to transform that. And when you do, You walk in and it's just mind blowing to see what you've created out of a space that no one could ever imagined would have looked like that. I would say that's more challenging to do as renovation because there's a lot of surprises along the way too that pop up that you didn't know was there and is there behind the wall or something like that. But and then new construction is fun because there's not as many limitations. You know, you can put that fireplace wherever you want it. Whereas in renovation, it's already there. We have to work with it. But I think it's 50-50. They're just two very different animals. But I enjoy both. I get as much satisfaction out of both. The creativity process is about the same. So I don't really prefer one over the other, I don't think.
She can do it all, people.
The gratification at the end of the day is, the gratification at the end of the day is the same on both, really.
Okay, so I travel a lot.
I know you do.
Look, and one of the things when I'm traveling, especially in Europe, is that I love a good door. And so how important do you think that front door is when you're going into a new project? Is that where you start? Like, where do you start in all of it?
Normally, I usually start more on the interiors, whereas the architect has the vision of the outside, and then I give my input on that. But personally, I think the front door is everything. I mean, that's the first thing people see when they come to your home. It's the first impression everyone's going to get before they come into your home. What color it is, what style it is, how grand it is. Or is it just more, you know, warm and inviting? So I think it's everything personally, and I wish I could do more of that on the outside, but typically I'm more involved as when you step through the front door. But sometimes I like to pipe in and just give my opinion anyways.
Of course, you have to. You have to. So I can't imagine that every client that you meet with knows what their particular interior design style is. And I'm talking about whether it's modern, contemporary, traditional, bohemian, the list goes on. So how are you able to kind of scale that down without necessarily putting your own taste onto what the client may or may not know what they want?
Right. You're right. A lot of people, they don't know what they want, but they know what they don't want a lot of times. So it's sorting through that process and showing them a lot of ideas in the beginning so they can say, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. And then eventually you get to, okay, you start feeling like, okay, so I know where you're going now. I think I know what you like. And you guide them in that process as well. But most people don't know what they want, and until you guide them and show them why it works, why it's a good fit, why it's the best choice for that project. Sometimes it takes a little more time with others than some.
I'm sure.
I mean, for me as well. I'm doing some renovations in my home right now, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm the worst client ever because I can't decide what I like.
No, I still haven't figured it out either. I don't know what my particular taste is. It's kind of a hodgepodge of everything, actually. So
well, I've been blending all that together. But I have found lately, I'm like, gosh, I don't know what I'm exposed to so much that it's really hard for me to narrow down my own home now. And I'm thinking, God, I'd be the worst client ever.
So when Modern Luxury names you the queen of glam for interior design, what was that like for you? I mean, what was the feeling of, you know, knowing that they have over 16 million subscribers to this magazine and you were named 2019 Queen of Glam for interior design? What was that moment like for you?
Oh, it's amazing. The best feeling in the world. It's to be recognized for your work, and it's something that again, and it's not even like work to me because I love it so much.
Right.
And to be recognized for that. You know, I read a quote today. I was thinking about this, about how something about, you know, think about where you are in your life right now, and that's what you wished for a long time ago, and to sit and really think about that and realize that. And I was thinking about that today, preparing for chatting with you, is this is what I always wished for, to be where I am right now, and to get those kind of awards and get Queen of Glam and to be recognized, and to take a minute and really sit and enjoy that and let it soak in.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you get so busy, you forget to appreciate, wow, that's what I always wanted. And there I am.
Absolutely.
So I
Yeah.
was having a little bit of an epiphany about that today when I was preparing to chat with you. So, but it's amazing to be recognized anytime. So flattering, and to be rewarded for something you've worked so hard for.
Mm-hmm. And your firm was also recognized in Golf Inc.'s magazine for
Yes.
amenities, right? And so
Yes.
what was the how did that come about? Like, what was the criteria for that?
So a little bit about my background is I worked for a hospitality firm in Atlanta for 18 years before I opened my own firm. And so that's where I got my background in golf clubs and country clubs and spa fitness facilities. I was the director of design there when I left to start my own company. So that's how I got into that area of design.
Okay.
It's second nature to me. Again, I've done it. They hired me. I was an intern and they hired me right after that. And it was the only job I ever had. So, but towards the end of, before I left, they got a really huge residential project on board. It was for a huge home in Bermuda. It was 25,000 square feet. And I was able to work on it for 2 years.
Wow.
And I thought, God, I love this. This is so much fun. It's so different. And that's how I thought, you know, I'm going to start my own company and just go out. I know I can do this. I've been doing it for so long. And that really lit my fire about residential design. And so that's how I kind of combined both of those together. I knew I love doing golf and country clubs, and I know the ins and outs of it so well, of the type of products you need to use, etc. I've had some amazing relationships with people here in Atlanta in that industry and architects that I'm fortunate enough to work with. So whenever we get a new club job on board and we get an award in that area, that's an awesome feeling too, because I've been doing it for so many years.
Right.
And instead of getting an award under somebody else's firm, now it's mine.
Hello.
So that's,
that's right. Look, under your own.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry, I kind of went off on how I got in the club design, but that's why I do both. And it also just keeps it really fun and interesting for me.
Okay, so I want to circle back to something you said, and I want especially the ladies in our audience, because part of this platform is to empower, inspire, and motivate women over 40 to, what I say, live your best life, whatever that life is, because it's all different for us. But you said you were with a firm for 18 years, right? And you were doing your thing with this firm.
Right.
And then you decided to leave that firm and go out on your own. Can you just talk to the audience about what the impetus was that led you to do that and overcoming the fear of starting something new?
Sure. Well, it came at a time in my life as well that I was getting divorced, and all of these things kind of came to a point at the same time. And I thought, if I'm ever gonna do this, I need to do this now. And I started getting some clients that were calling me from working at the firm that I had been with. And I thought, okay, can I pay my bills? Can I pay the light bill and I'll be able to survive if I go out on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, you know, I'm just going to do it. If I don't do it now, I'll never do it. And again, coming off of a divorce, you know, I was just trying to find my way, find who I was, and find that empowerment. And I was so fortunate that the phone just started ringing off the wall, but I was working my butt off. I mean,
Right.
I worked 24 hours a day. There was no Saturday and Sunday, but I just wanted to be successful and have my own thing and really make it.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that also entailed growth within myself as far as being independent. I was married for a while, and so it was the independence of being single again,
Right.
having my own company.
Right.
And it's not easy at first. It's not
Absolutely.
easy at all.
Nothing
I
worth
cried a
having
lot.
is easy. Right. Right.
I cried a lot.
Right.
But, you know, I prayed a lot and just stayed strong. And eventually it paid off, and just got bigger and bigger, and had so much great support, and loved being on my own and having my own place and my own business.
Yeah.
And, you know, really knowing the ins and outs of simple things of how to do my taxes and stuff
Right.
that I, you know, never was involved with before.
Mm-hmm.
There's such an amazing feeling knowing that you know how to do all of those things.
Absolutely.
Because I was pretty sheltered from it before.
Mm-hmm.
And I would never be where I am today if I hadn't followed that path.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, I'm not even near the same person that I was. I just have so much more confidence and happiness about myself. And that's where you really start to believe that, wow, there was a bigger plan.
Absolutely.
And I was struggling, and it was really tough at points. But, you know, now you know why.
Absolutely.
Now I know why. And
Yeah.
So grateful to go through it. Absolutely. Because it came out the other side, and just so grateful every day. I really
Absolutely.
am.
Yeah, I say you can't have a testimony without a test, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And the test is in the testimony.
Yes.
So you can't have that. So I just, for the audience, I want to make sure that they have your website. Could you tell them how they can find you, please?
Sure. Just go to, it's www.tri and then interiors.net. And also I'm at Tracy Rhodes Interiors on my Instagram. Okay. And that's about it. But I'm so happy I got to share that with everybody.
No, and I thank you for being so transparent with that, because people need to hear that, you know, and they need to understand that it's not easy, you know, but anything worth having in life requires work, and you have to do the work, you know. So
you do. Personally, professionally, I've been through it, and I love to be able to tell people that when, you know, it seemed hopeless, it just really, it gets better if you just keep working hard and just believing.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay, so I have a few questions before I let you go. Yeah. And then I'll see if we have some questions from the audience. Okay. So what would be your ultimate dream project to work on?
Oh my gosh. Probably for someone famous, really famous.
Oh, we can put that in the universe. We can put it in the universe.
Like Justin Timberlake.
Oh,
like that.
I love it.
Now, anything where I think a dream project to me would be traveling somewhere overseas. Mm-hmm. That would be an amazing dream project. Because I love to travel too. I love watching you and all of your adventures. And I think it'd be so much fun to design in another country. Mm-hmm. So that would probably be one of my dream projects that I'm hoping for.
Okay. What? That's we're gonna make that happen. So we're gonna put
Okay,
that in the
good.
universe. I'm really big on speaking what you want into existence. So you put it out there,
Yes.
it's gonna come back to you. So I can't wait for you to share that story, and I can't wait to see what you come up with to create for that famous
Oh,
person.
good. Yes, definitely.
Okay, Tracy, what is your superpower?
Oh boy. My superpower. Um, that's a tough question. My superpower, I would say, is I have a very strong belief in positivity every day, and I think that's I have a I like to make people feel better and bring them up. And I feel like I try to make a difference in someone's life as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's so important, and especially going back to the beginning, talking about my aunt. You never know how much you really affect someone's life.
So true.
And even the smallest things you do, I try to do that every day, because you have no idea how that's going to affect someone.
Absolutely.
And so I try to make that my superpower, I think. And leave an impression on someone that makes them feel good about themselves.
No, that's beautiful, Tracy. And we need so much of that in today's world, especially.
Yeah,
Because so many of
definitely.
us are going through something and you just
Yes.
don't know. It could just be a smile or a hello or the simplest thing that could totally make a
Right.
person's day. So no, that's a wonderful superpower to have. We all need to have that superpower. Okay, so what is your favorite quote?
My favorite quote is from another mentor of mine. It was my boss at the design firm that I worked for 18 years. She would always say, "You're only as good as your last job." And I can't tell you how many times I've said that to myself. To finish out every project on a good note, finish it well, make sure the client's happy and that you've done the best job you can, because you're only as good as that last project. And I hear that ringing in my head all the time from her. She's the most amazing lady. And
What's her name?
Joan Barassa.
Hi,
She
Joan.
hired me when I was an intern, and just mentored me the whole way. And again, she just was such a huge, huge impact on my life. So that's one of my favorite quotes that I hear all the time.
And two questions left.
Okay.
There's a woman who's contemplating leaving her job and trying something new, but she's a little afraid. What would you tell her?
It's so scary. It is so scary, especially when it's party of one that you're relying on and you don't have a safety net, but you're never going to know if you don't try it.
Absolutely.
And I knew that I could always go back and work for someone again. So why not go ahead and try it on my own and see how I do? Because otherwise I'd be wondering to this day and still working 24/7 for someone else.
Absolutely.
So, to go out and try it, and you can always go back and find something else. At least you tried. Because then if you never did, how do you know how successful and great you can be? It's not easy, but it's so well worth it in the end. The way that it'll make you feel as a person, it's just amazing.
I say nothing beats a failure but a try.
Yes.
Right?
See, you have a lot of my favorite quotes. You have some good ones.
Well, it's true. And the only reason why I can say that is because I know. I know firsthand, what it's like to try something new, to rely on your own self. I've been an entrepreneur for many, many years, so it's not new to me. But you're right, it is scary. But I said I never want to live a life of regrets.
Yeah.
So We
Yeah,
don't want to do that. Okay, so last question, and then I want
okay.
to share some of this love from the audience, Tracy. You got a lot of people in here that are saying
I
a lot of wonderful things, and I want to make sure that
do.
you hear from them. So my last question to you is, what
Mhm.
is the best advice ever given to you?
The best advice ever given to me is to, always be your own woman. Make sure that you can support yourself, take care of yourself, be able to survive on your own, not have to 100% rely on someone else.
Right.
Because I think that, again, it just gives you such an empowerment, and it's amazing the confidence that it gives you inside.
Absolutely.
And so, I love being my own person, and that was the best advice ever given to me is, be independent and be successful on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been amazing, really has.
Well, that advice has paid off wonderfully for you
Thank
because you
you.
are doing just that.
Thank
You
you.
have your independence, you have your success, you're designing all of these beautiful places, and your
Thank you.
work speaks for itself, Tracy. You
Thank you.
are phenomenal. So
Thank you so much.
I want to say thank you so much for joining me this evening. But before we go, I do want to go into the audience and let me just
Okay.
read to you some of the things that everyone is saying. Let's see. My makeup artist says, yes, queen. Mrs. Bussy01, hey, Tramika. She said, Tracy
Oh,
is always first class, no matter the project.
oh,
Let's see what else we have. Jimmy Stanton 4. I don't know if you know who that is. He's just giving you a
yes.
lot of hearts and heart faces. PGDC36 says, proud of you, Tracy.
Oh,
Let's see what else we have. You have a lot of hand claps. You have yes to JT doing Justin Timberland's project. We're gonna put that out. PCPR underscore communications underscore agency. That's my publicist. Hey, Phyllis. She said Dubai could use your touch.
oh, yes, I like that.
Yes, we'll put that out in the
Sign me
universe as
up.
well.
I'll go there for sure.
And then we have, is it Marjorie Rhodes?
Yes, that's my mother.
Oh, your mommy says she's so proud of you, Tracy.
Oh, she's the best. We're really close.
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, so once again, everybody, to learn more about Miss Tracy Rhodes, you can visit her website at TR Interiors. Did I say that
Yes.
right? .net,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
TRinteriors.net.
Mm-hmm.
Please go over there and take a look at her phenomenal work. And then you guys can head over to my website at heyladybytanya.com and read her impressive bio. Any last words, Tracy, before we let you go?
This was just so wonderful. Thank you. I love being able to share my story with other people and hope that it inspires them as well.
Wonderful. Well, that's what we're
So
trying to do. That's exactly what Hey Lady is all about. So once again, before we go, I always toast it out.
Oh, yes.
Then we can
I
get
didn't
another
drink
drink.
enough yet.
Just another
Cheers.
excuse to have another sip.
Little good night sip.
All right, Tracy, thank you so much for
You're
joining me this
welcome.
evening. Okay, and
All
we'll
right. See
talk
you
soon.
soon.
All right.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye.
Tracy. Bye, everybody. Thank
Bye,
you, guys. Bye.
everyone.